All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. First off, if you want to just leave a like at the bottom, if you enjoy this video, please do. My name is Elijah. I made a video previously doing kind of just a experiment type video, but today what we're going to do is make an expansion team. We're going to go really in depth with this team, and this will probably be like a long series with multiple episodes. I'm really excited for this series. Should be fun. I really enjoyed creating the jerseys and logo and stuff like that. So shout out to the people that uploaded the logo of the astronaut. It was super cool. So like I was saying, we're going to go really in depth with this series, focus on player development, look at mentorship and how that affects players. We're going to look at, sending players to G League. I'm doing the draft classes as automated so that it would make it a little bit more interesting with different players because, as some of y'all probably know, we all know Zion Williamson's going to be super good. We all know RJ Barrett and John Morant and all these guys turn out to be really good in the NBA. And so for this to be a little bit more interesting, I decided to make it random and automated, just to give different players, different positions, and different possibilities of players being good, and just making it harder for me to pick out that right player. So the draft classes are completely automated. Now, we did this, as you can see in a little bit. We did not start in 2018. We went ahead and did a start today and added the expansion teams. So once we get into off season, we're going to have to approve that because most likely they're going to reject the addition of 2 expansion teams. But we did that so that we could see the same teams that we see today with LeBron and the Lakers and all the rookies from the 2018 class on their respective teams, just to make it a little bit more realistic. But I thought that would just be a better way to do this. So in this series, I believe I'll be playing a couple games here and there just to kind of show you how the players play, just how they develop in game, just how the whole team is. I'm thinking I'll play the first game of the season, then I'll play just here and there throughout the season, but I'm not trying to make this like, a 10-episode series per season or something like that. I'm probably trying to make it a little bit shorter than that, just because the interesting parts are the off-season, getting new players, seeing how players develop. But I will be playing a couple games just to see how the team is and just have fun with it. Now, I will say, going into the expansion draft, my goal is to draft players that have high trade value, young players that have potential, and then have a few bad contracts in there that I'll be able to package in a trade so that maybe I can get a good pick or maybe even a good player, because you have to have those salaries match. And then I'm definitely going to try to make some trades after the expansion draft to either move up in the draft, add another first-round pick, and add future assets and picks, in the 2020 draft and so forth.
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. But when you talk to me,
All right, here we are in the off season. We're gonna fire all of our staff because their ratings are horrible, and sign some new head coaches, trainers, head scout, and so forth. I'm trying to get guys with high potential, and then a great trainer so that we can get, some multiple training camps and just be able to develop those young guys. So we're going to get a good coaching staff right here, sign everybody. I went through the draft combine and tried to scout a few players based on especially late round guys so that I can actually utilize my second round picks, and try to look for guys with high badges. So I did a little bit of scouting here with the draft combine and so forth.
Baby, show me how.
All right, here we are in the expansion draft. So we have the first pick. We're going to take Mason Plumlee here. I suppose he has the better trade value. He is, I think, on an expiring contract, which is good, so we don't have to sign him next year if we don't want to, or we don't have that $14 million contract next year. So here I'm going to pick Javon Carter. He's young. He has good potential. I think he would have some good trade value. And then with the second pick, I think I'm going to take Derek Jones, who's also a young player who has a decent overall. So here I'm drafting Courtney Lee. That'll be a good little salary to add with a trade if I want to. Next, with my next pick, I'm going to take Marco Bellinelli. And then I'm going to pick up Jonah Bolden, who has better inside D than DJ Wilson. Not as great of a scorer, but I'll take him. He has a little bit better potential. And so with my next pick, I'm going to take Eli Okubo. He's a young guy as well that I think I could maybe develop into either our starting point guard or at least an asset that I can trade in the future. I'm going to take Bruce Brown. He's also young, probably has decent trade value. I'm going to take Niang here. He's a little bit older, has a decent-sized contract that I could probably add in a trade. And then I'm going to do the same here with Mahimi because he has an expiring contract. Next, I'm going to take Felicio, another contract that I can probably add to a trade to get something. And then these next few picks, I'm just going to draft players that I think that all of these have expiring contracts or are expired right now. So these guys will definitely not be on the team. I'm just not going to give them an option. I just need the draft players here. So really these picks really mean nothing. First trade, I'm going to trade Ian Mahimi and a future first for the 17th pick in the draft. I'm going to trade Javon Carter and Marco Bellinelli in a second for the Pistons pick next year and Langston Galloway. Usually the Pistons are really bad in 2020, so I'm thinking that pick's going to be pretty good. Here I'm going to get a Clippers pick, just kind of dumping that salary. Clippers might not be good, but it is lottery protected. So right now my cap space is looking pretty good. I'm going to decline the options or the cap holds on all these players except for Derek Jones Jr. because I want to keep him, and that brings your salary cap up to $75 million, which is awesome. Here in the draft, we're going to take William Matthews. He's a lockdown defender, has 8 badges already. He was supposed to get number 2. Looks like he could be our future star, possibly. Not the greatest scorer, but a great defender, has great potential. So he looks like he could be just a great wing player to have. So, and he's really the best player available. thought about taking Colin Ramsey, but he's a little bit lower overall, and I just really like the idea of having William Matthews. Here I'm taking Clark Wallace with our 17th pick. He's has a lower overall, of course, but he looks like he has some pretty high potential. I can send him to the G League this year, and he can get much better. I'm taking Alan Bush. I did a lot of scouting on him, and he can hit the 3 really well. And then I'm taking this guy right here. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a Euro player, so he will be overseas for 1 year, so he can develop there. Maybe he'll be good, but this is a late second-round pick, so he's not going to really amount to anything. Except everybody, Alan Bush is a lot lower than I thought, but he has 8 badges, and he's a very good three-point shooter, so maybe he can develop his other skills in the G League, even though he has C- potential. But I'm going to keep all of those guys. I'm going to decline the options on everybody except for Derek Jones Jr. because I don't really need any of them. And then I believe I don't have any qualifying offers, so we don't have to worry about that. So here we are in free agency. I'm going to try to offer a contract to Kawhi Leonard just because he's usually not there. I doubt he signs, but it's just it would be fun to have him. I'm going to sign Dwayne Wade to a 2-year deal just because I think he'll be a great mentor for Matthews. They're very similar players, defensive-oriented. Maybe Dwayne Wade can help his offense. And then I'm also going to sign an older point guard in J.J. Barea because I believe Eli Okubo is also primarily a playmaker, and so that would be a good mentor for him. So J.J. Barea, he'll probably be our starter. We get both of those. Kawhi went back to the Raptors. And then here I'm going to sign Thabo Sefolosha to a 1-year minimum deal. The small forward we drafted was also a defensive player, and so Thabo would be a good mentor for him. And then I'm also signing Nerlens Noel, young center who will probably be good for us. And then we're going to sign Marquise Chris to kind of fill out our backcourt. See if I'm just offering him a 1-year deal, but kind of just see if he can get better. I'm going to send William Matthews. He's already an A-, so I'm going to send him to three-point shooting because he's not a very good perimeter shooter. So hopefully he can get better in that. And then with my other training camp, I'm going to send, I'm going to send Eli Okubo to untapped potential. I really want him to improve this season. He's going to get some playing time. And I don't really think he's going to be our future point guard, but he could definitely be our backup in the future, or even a good trade piece like I was saying before. Alan Bush going to G League. We're also going to send Clark Wallace to the G League, but we got to sign a free agent so that we have that roster spot. So we're going to go in and see who we can get. We don't want to spend too much money, so I'm going to sign Luke Cornett to a 1-year deal. He happily accepts. So Clark Wallace, G League, and then I made the lineup changes, the game plan. I want to give Okubo some more minutes. I moved Cornett to the power forward. He goes up a little bit. I'm starting Williams just because I want him to get a lot of playing time, and D Wade can come off the bench and play a good amount of minutes. And honestly, I really like our team. I mean, our point guard's not too great. Hopefully we can get someone next year in the draft, and then we'll be pretty solid. We're going to look at system proficiency here. 7 seconds looks pretty good. We don't have really, too great of a system here, but I'm probably not going to keep it at 7 seconds just because William Matthews isn't too great with that, so we're going to just keep it at balanced. And then we're going to go into player mentorship. Like I was saying before, Derek Jones. We're going to actually have him mentored by Sefolosha. 1 badge is fine. Eli Okubo, mentored by J.J. Barea. And then we're going to also give William Matthews to be mentored by D. Wade, which I think will be huge for him. I think that's a great signing for us. D. Wade's going to be a great mentor for William Matthews and should help him improve a lot this first year. And then I think our last one, Alan Bush, can be mentored by Langston Galloway, Nerlens Noel. We might find someone for him. Mason Plumlee, that's a good one. And then Marquise Chris. I don't know if we have anybody. Maybe we can get him. I guess Nerlens Noel can mentor him, even though they're both pretty young. All right, so I went in and put the team training up to very high just so we can get as much development as possible for our young guys. And this is going to be it for the first video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm really excited to do this series. Next episode, we should be playing a game, simming a little bit, maybe making a few trades, so forth. So stay tuned for the next one. Please leave a like, hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time.